Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Emerald Cottage podcast. My name's Jill and I'm coming to you from a rather gloomy Berkshire in the south of England. It's the 6th of October today, so we're definitely in proper autumn, although it's felt a bit like winter this last week with horrendous rain here. Although we've been fortunate we haven't had as bad flooding as some places in England, so thankful for that. It's lovely to have you here. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not new. I've got quite a lot to show you today. I've got about four finished objects and 4 slightly finished objects, but they're really works in progress, but we'll come on to that. And I've got a few whips to show you, and I've got some of what are my next projects to tell you about. So let's jump straight into finished objects, and the first one I've got to show you I'm very proud of is this wreath that I made. Oh, if I can lift it, it's quite heavy. Look at this, look, it's so cute. Can you see it? And oh, it's better the white background, but you get the picture. So it's got Stanley the squirrel. I'll talk to you through the wreath. Stanley the squirrel, he's got a little bag with a little acorn in it. My husband thought he was a kangaroo. I don't know what that's all about. But he's on his little ladder, look, oh, it's so cute. And then I've got some oak leaves here and down here. I've got some more acorns here and here and here. And then we've got some green leaves around the bottom and some pumpkins. Let's have a close up of the pumpkins. Oh look, aren't they cute? They were dead easy. They were just literally about 20 rows of half double crochet, and then you in a rectangle, and then you just join it at the ends and then like gather it in a circle and do the little stalk to go on it. Really easy, really cute. So I'm really pleased with this. I love it. It's sitting in pride of place in my hallway at the minute. And this was a pattern from the Hobbycraft Ideas Hub, which I'd never heard of actually, but I think it popped up on my Facebook, and it just came up with Stanley the squirrel is collecting acorns for winter, blah blah blah. And I thought, oh, it's so cute, I'd love to make that. So I went and looked on the Ideas Hub, and there are loads of ideas on there for craft projects, for every craft you can think of, as you can imagine it being a hobby craft. So I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link in the description box below. So that's my wreath. My next finished object was my bag. If I can just get it off the hook here. Which is a bag that I started I should say, in Morocco. Look at that. So this I made in Morocco on a crochet retreat with Lucy of Attic 24 and with 14 other ladies. So there was 17 of us all together. There was myself, 14 other ladies, that's 15 of us. Then there was Lucy, 16, and Alison, who's our tour manager, 17. So 17 of us all together. And we had such a lovely week. It was just amazing. So we had 3 nights in Marrakesh, and then we went to the coast to a town called Essaouira and had 4 nights there. Marrakesh was just bonkers, just so much activity and noise and colours and sights and smells. It was just amazing. We didn't get a lot of chance to shop, which was a bit of a shame because we walked through the market a lot. We had a local guide called Saeed who was amazing, and on the 2 full days that we had, I think it was 2 full days that we had there, we saw like a hammam, and we saw a local bakery, we saw some artists doing their work. We saw a cactus garden, we saw the Yves Saint Laurent garden, we just saw loads. We had such a busy itinerary those few days, it was absolutely hectic. And yeah, Marrakesh was just completely overwhelming. Loved it. About 40 degrees, so very hot when we were there, and that was the main kind of, not difficulty, but that made it quite hard to manage all the walking that we were doing. So when we went to Essaouira, it was a lot cooler. It was down to about 28 degrees there. Coastal, so there was a bit of a breeze, and it was beautiful. Just a really, really lovely seaside town, with a lovely smaller market, which was much more manageable. And also we didn't get lost in it. So we were a bit afraid in Marrakesh of going out on our own in case we got lost. Whereas in Essaouira it was much smaller, so there was no fear of getting lost at all. So we were able to wander the market at our leisure, which was lovely. I was there with my friend Julie, who I've known since I was 3. I think we worked out since we were 3 years old. So what's that, 51 years? So a long time. Julie's from Northern Ireland, so she came over to Gatwick and met us at Gatwick, and then we flew out from Gatwick to Marrakesh together with the rest of the group. And Julie and I took a couple of days off towards the end of the holiday, so there were some more organised excursions, but we decided that we didn't want any more excursions. We wanted to just chill by the beach, by the pool rather, with our crochet. So we were able to finish our bags. So this is my finished bag. So isn't it lovely? So it was it's all made with Sardar Happy Cotton yarn, which comes in lovely little 20-gram balls. They're really cute, and we had a palette of 18 colours to work with, and the brief was to try and get a nice contrast between hot colours and cold colours. So I don't know if I achieved that or not, I'm not sure. This is my first side, and I was more considered about my colour choices there. My favourite one on this side is this one here. I love this one. I'm not so keen on this one because I think the dark blue is just too hard and it jumps out too much, but that's the only thing I don't like about the front. And I'd say this is my favourite. I think that's lovely. And then the back, I was a lot less considered with my choices, my colour choices. I very much went with whatever I had left. So I was trying to use up the smaller oddments first in the smaller rounds, and then as I got towards the bigger rounds, use the bigger balls to make sure I had enough left for those. But I think it's worked just as well. I did try to kind of think about what colours were going together and the kind of contrast between them, so I think it worked okay. And it's just, yeah, this really lovely tote bag now, so I'm really, really pleased with it. There it is, just a tote bag. It's lovely, isn't it? So yeah, happy with that. It's a lovely memento of my time in Morocco, and I shall always think of my lovely new friends when I look at it. There's about, I think, 6 of them who are on Instagram, so I'm now Instagram friends with them, so I'll keep up with them, which would be lovely. So that's my Morocco bag. The next couple of things I've made are to sell at my craft fairs, and they are these Mobius Cowls. So if you can see, it's like a Mobius strip. So a Mobius strip is where you've got a loop of something, whether it's paper or crochet, but it's only one surface. It's not two-sided, it's just one-sided because of the twist in it. So if you Google Mobius strip, it's M-O-B-I-U-S, Mobius strip, you'll find out a bit more about it. It's just a neck warmer essentially, this cowl, and it's got this lovely twist at the front which just makes it sit kind of different to just, you know, I didn't want it sitting like that, which it would have been if it wasn't Mobius. It would have sat like that. I wanted it more like this, so it's got this nice twist in it. And yeah, I made that from JamesCBrett Marble Chunky. Here's the bow band, Marble Chunky, and these two here are in colour now. JamesCBrett and their Marble Chunky range all has colour numbers, not names, which is very boring. Not impressed with that at all. And this one was colour MC112, I believe. So I crocheted this one first of all, got to the halfway point of the ball by I knew that by weighing it, and stopped, and then continued on the second one, so I knew I'd get two cowls out of the same ball wool. And at the end I had literally that much yarn left. It was so good. It was such a great game of yarn chicken, and I won. Yes, really satisfying. So that's 2 cowls to add to my pile of stuff for my craft fairs. Then I've also made a little turtle. This is what I've done in the last week actually. Little turtle. Oh, look, so cute. Oh, I just love him so much. Really sweet little turtle. just gorgeous. And he's got his little QA symbol, his little QA mark. Can you see? There. So he's one of a model that's been tested. So I tested this model ages ago and passed, I'm pleased to say, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be making him. So that's good. My little turtle. My September temperature blanket is more or less finished. Here it is. And I say more or less because, as you can see, there are 29 days here. So there are 4 rows of 7 days, that's 28, plus this one here makes 29. But September has 30 days. So unfortunately, if you count it with weeks starting from Monday, September actually falls in 6 weeks, which is just really annoying because my layout doesn't allow for that. So what I'm having to do is take the very last, so you can see that it started on a Sunday, which is this Sunday, started on a Sunday, and it's ending on a Monday, which will be down here, essentially down here below this one. So I'm going to add it into the October calendar, just have an extra day in October. It'll be the Monday, that first Monday of October will actually be September, if that makes sense. So I'm doing it that way. But yes, in case you haven't seen my previous podcasts, this is temperature blanket reflecting the highs and lows of temperature every day for a year where I live in Wokingham. So the inner round, the lighter one, is the low for that day, represents the low for that day, and the darker round represents the high for that day. And I've joined together my previous 6 months. They're already ready in one big panel, ready to have the next 3 months, which are July, August, September, sewn onto them. So that's my next job, is to attach July, August, September onto the main blanket. So yeah, so it's coming along nicely. I'm very pleased with it. The only thing was, I feel that I didn't choose my colours appropriately enough. I feel there's too much green and not enough, too much blue and green and not enough red. So I think I had red for 25 degrees and above, and it didn't really get to 25 degrees and above very often this year. So I think I should have started the red a bit earlier, or at least had a dark orange maybe instead of the yellow. But having said that, I think it looks really good, and I'm really pleased with myself that I've kept up to date with it. So that's as of end of September, and obviously we're now on the 6th of October, so I'm only 6 days behind, which is really good. I'm really pleased. Right, next we have, yes. So in my last episode, I mentioned that I was doing this a Year of Granny Squares project with Jenny of In My Spare Time Crochet. So Jenny is using this book, which is A Year of Granny Squares by Kylie and Moleta, and the plan is to crochet 1 granny square for every week of the year, and then at the end make them up into a blanket, I think probably is what I'm going to do. So I've got 6 squares here, which I'll show you along with the picture in the book for each one. So we've got Spring Kite, which is this one here. I'm trying to cover up the pattern in the chart, so you can see there that that's quite a good one. I'm quite pleased with that. Then we have got First Bloom. Now this one was a bit less happy with this one because it's like a 3D flower, and I wish it would lay a bit more flat. It's all right when you spread it out like that, but then it just kind of curls up again. So I thought about putting a little stitch in to keep these petals a bit more flat, so I don't know, I might do that. That's that one. Then we've got Rose Hip, which is this one. Rose Hip, very pretty. And then we have Aquilegia. This one was bloomin' fiddly to do. Again, it's a 3D effort, which I'll oh, it's not going to work, is it? It should be that way. Aquilegia. And this one, if you look at it side on, it's very 3D. Look, there's a lot of depth to it. I'm not sure how I feel about these 3D ones. I'm not sure how I feel about them in a blanket situation. not sure, just not sure. That was very tricky to do because obviously there's a lot of working behind itself. And the way you do it, it's like a standard construction, but you do your first few rounds in the middle, and then you do a round of like single crochet, loaded chains, single crochet, loaded chains, single crochet, loaded chains. So you get all these chain loops, and then you work back into the chain loops to produce the petals. And then you go in for the second round of petals, you go in behind the first row of petals, and again you do a single crochet and a single crochet and a load of chains, single crochet, load of chains, and so on and so forth. So you get a second row behind, and then this is quite unusual, this one, and there's the third row behind that again. So it's very fiddly to do. There's a lot of working behind stitches and things. I like the colours. Well, I say I like the colours. I'll come on to that shortly. I like the fact that it's yellow, purple, and pink. That's a nice combination. But I'll speak about colours shortly. And then we have filigree lace. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's just really beautiful in its simplicity. And there's the picture there, so it's quite well. Can you see? So yes, that one was quite a joy to do actually. I love that filigree lace bit in the middle. I think it's beautiful. And then finally, of all the ones I've done, we have this sweet violet, which is really pretty. It's kind of like it's not quite a granny sunburst flower, but it's getting that way. So it's got a flower in the middle, and then you turn it into a granny square, and then it's got a few rows of double crochet around the edge. So yeah, so they're coming along quite nicely. Now the reason I've only done 6 and not persevered on to, I think they're on week 9 currently, is I'm not happy with my colour choices. So I think, like, let's see if I can hold up some of them together. So there's 1 and 2 together, and I don't think they go at all. Hang on, let me just get something flat. 1 and 2 together, and I don't know. Tell me what you think. I just can't decide. So that'd be 1 and 2, and then that one's 3. And I'm just not sure that the blue is too garish. I need it to be paler maybe, and the pink as well. I think I like the purple, yellow, and green, and I like the pale pink. But I'm not sure about the darker pink, and I'm definitely not sure about the blue. Really not sure. So I'm contemplating going back to the wool shop, buying different balls of wool and making it in different colours. Oh, I don't know what to do. I can't decide. I can't face making them again, but I don't want to end up with a blanket that I don't actually like. However, having said that, the colour palette so these squares are considered to be spring. She does it by season, and we're doing it in the wrong season, but that's not a problem, whatever. From week 14 on, it's summer, and then you can see the palette changes again. So I'm going to have to choose more colours come summer anyway. Well, not going to have to, but I want to. So I don't know, I'm just undecided at the minute. Or maybe I should just crack on with it. Or maybe it's the green I don't like. It's either the green or the blue. I like these colours. These ones are okay. Green, I think I like in that, but I'm not sure against that. If sort of more appley green would be better. And as I say, is the blue just too garish, just too bright amongst all of it? Anyway, let me know what you think below. I'd be interested to hear your opinion. So that's my year of granny squares thus far. Right, that brings us then on to whips. So my major whip obviously is my temperature blanket, as I just mentioned. So I've done January to June are all joined together in one big blanket. Then I've got July, August, September that I need to join together in a strip, and then join that strip to the main blanket. So that's my kind of main work in progress, and then obviously I've got to work on October and moving forward as well. So that's my biggest work in progress. I've then got, just grab it here, my Strictly socks. Oh, that's the wrong bag. Which bag is it? Oh, it's this bag. My Strictly socks, which are coming along very slowly. So I worked on these during Strictly last night, and I've done the cuff, look. I've actually got a cuff that has no mistakes. So I think I hadn't started these last time I spoke to you. I think I was going to start them, but I hadn't quite started them. And yes, they're using some, oh no, where's the ball band gone? It's not Malabrigo, what is the name of it? Oh, here we are. Madrigal yarns, that's it. Madrigal yarns, self-striping socks in colourway Daniel. There's the ball band. And they're 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And it's sourced from Australian super soft mulesing free what on earth that is? Mulesing free certified merino. I wonder what that is. And yes, so I've just done the rib so far, or the cuff so far. So it's just a, I guess you call that 2x2 rib. So it's just knit 2, purl 2. I started. When did I start? I started 2 weeks ago during Strictly, and worked on them, and then realised that I'd made a huge mistake and I was going to have to, I couldn't ignore it, and I had to rip them back, so that was the whole episode of Strictly completely wasted. Then last week for Strictly I was away in Northern Ireland visiting my mum, so I couldn't take my knitting with me because you can't take knitting on the plane. And then last night I worked on them again and got as far as the first cuff. So if I only work on them during Strictly, I'm not even going to get one sock done, never mind a pair, during the course of the Strictly season. So I am going to work on them outside of Strictly, and I'll just think about Strictly or something. And in case you don't know, the Strictly Sockalong is run by Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful, and the idea is that you knit a pair of socks, or crochet a pair of socks, during the Strictly season whilst watching Strictly. So the number one rule of the Sockalong is that you have to crochet whilst watching Strictly. Number 2 rule is that you have to cheat as much as possible and think of tenuous reasons why the time you chose to crochet or knit your socks is okay. So you might say that I was watching DIY SOS and Nick Knowles, and Nick Knowles is on Strictly, so therefore that's okay. So things like that. So I think I'm just going to be able to say I was thinking about Strictly when I crocheted it, when I knitted them. So yes, I'm not sure that they'll get done before the end of the Strictly season, but that's fine. I'm pleased with the start, and it's lovely red wool, and then it goes on to this the self-striping one, which is all these kind of reds and oranges and greens. If it's going to focus. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Look at the gorgeous. Really love these colours. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works up. Yeah, just interested to. I saw an example of it. I bought it at the Southern Wool Show a couple of weeks ago. I saw an example of it knitted up then, so it'd be interesting to see if my sample turns out to be the same as their sample. I just, in my head, I'm thinking it can't possibly because my knitting's no good. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. It's fascinating. I think I'm doing okay so far. I think I changed colour all right. That was quite successful. And my cuff looks fairly consistent, I think I might have made the odd mistake, but nothing too major, nothing I can't live with. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with those. So that's my Strictly socks, which are currently living in my lovely pumpkin bag. Look at this, isn't it sweet? Bought this in Hobbycraft the other week, £3, but I just thought it was a really nice little Halloween bag. So yeah, that's my Strictly socks. Then we've got I've written down green cowl. I don't know what I mean by green cowl. Let's ignore that one. I've got this lace leaf scarf to show you. So I need a blank page here. Let's get a bit of blank paper. Here we are. You can see. Can you see? It's like lace leaf pattern, so it's like falling leaves. I think it's meant to be like acorns almost, falling leaves. That didn't really work. That's really hard to show you, so you just have to use your imagination. It's got this lovely falling leaf pattern. Maybe that's easier to see. Is that easier to see? Oh, I don't know. I can see it really well, but maybe you can't. And this is coming along really nicely. So this is with Bellica yarns. Again, it's 75% merino, 25% nylon, and the colour is not on here, I don't think. No colour name, but it's lovely kind of tealy turquoise mix. I took this to Morocco with me and worked on it while I was there, worked on it on the plane, and it's the same as my orange scarf which I showed you last time, so it's going to be one that loops around my neck a few times. And it's a pattern out of, if I can find it under my palette stuff here, not Simply Crochet, Inside Crochet, issue 171, this one here, and it's their lace leaf scarf, which has got this rather wacky lady in her wacky trousers modelling for us. It's a very easy pattern. It's 8 row repeat, 9 row repeat, and essentially it's a 4 row repeat with the first 4 kind of offset slightly, so it's, once you get your head into the pattern, it's really easy. And yeah, I'm really enjoying working on it. I've already done a lace leaf one in the orange wool that I showed you last time, as I said, but excuse me, I wanted to work on another one because it was such an easy pattern, so I thought this was a good one to bring to Morocco, where I didn't have to be referring to the pattern all the time. I could just sit and work on it on the plane and so forth, which I did. So that's coming along quite nicely, so I've got that one to finish. Then I've also got, lost my place now. Oh yes, so my cracking the whip segment, well, that's not going very well at all. So last time my cracking the whip was my Trillium shawl, which is this shawl here, which is quite similar to my lace leaf scarf actually, but it's kind of paler turquoise. And I've started the second ball of yarn, you can see there, but I have absolutely no memory of starting that whatsoever. It was so long ago, and I have no memory of the pattern whatsoever. It was so long ago, so I need to learn the pattern again, and I just can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. It's not filling me with joy at the minute, so it feels like I don't want to work on it. Having said that, I think if I learned the pattern and got into the pattern again, I would enjoy it and I'd want to complete it. So perhaps I just need to sit down one afternoon and concentrate on getting the pattern and really cracking it and sort of getting it done finally. So I think watch this space. We'll keep this one for next time as well and see if I've made any progress for next time. But you can hold me accountable to have made some progress. I will make some progress. I thought I wasn't recording there for a minute. Right, my next project, I've got 2 to show you. First one is this wall hanging, which I'll have to show you briefly because it's a graph and I can't really show you the graph. So this is it here. There, it's called Spooky Season, and it's tapestry crochet, and they do it in pink, as you can see. I'm doing mine in orange, quite traditional. I did start it and then realised that actually I needed a lot of bobbins, so you can see I want to use the intarsia method, so I think that means I need to have a bobbin for, say it's this robe where the black line is, I need to have a bobbin for the pink, a bobbin for the black, and then another bobbin for the pink there, and another bobbin for the black, another bobbin for the pink, and so on and so forth. So I only realised that after I started it, because I haven't done a tapestry crochet before. I've done intarsia knitting, bizarrely, but never done intarsia crochet, I don't think. So I need to get some bobbins, which have arrived, these big things here. really weird shape. They're bobbins, wool bobbins. Bought those on Amazon. So I'm going to start that today, I think, because obviously I want to get that done in time for Halloween, to hang it up and have it in my craft room for a bit of Halloween decor. And that is a pattern by somebody that I've forgotten to, can't remember. I bought it on Etsy, I'll link it down below. And I'm just using double knitting for that, just acrylic double knitting. So I got this lovely orange one, which I felt was a really great autumn colour. Got this in a charity shop. It was a new wool, but it was in a charity shop. And then just black and white as well. I don't even think I put the white in here yet. So yes, just acrylic DK of some random brand. And then my other next project, that's the word I'm looking for, is I'm going to make some ear warmers out of this yarn. So I bought, excuse the rustling, let me just open this. I bought this marble chunky, it's not marble chunky, this is the problem. I saw it on Amazon, thought, oh, that's cheap for marble chunky, bought it, it arrives, it's double knit, not chunky, double knit, which is why it was so cheap. But I thought I might make some ear warmers out of this to sell at my craft fairs, and see how they work up with the double knitting rather than the chunky. And yeah, so that's my next project with that. And my final next project is in my big Morocco bag, which I bought in Morocco. Lovely big Hessian bag. And oops, next project is, ta-da, it is the, can you see that? The Flowerpress blanket by Lucy of Attic24. So when I was in Morocco, there's much talk about this. Some people had bought it. I was determined I wasn't going to buy it because I've got lots of other blankets to finish first. And basically I was in a conversation with Julie, and this blanket had gone out of stock on Wool Warehouse, so we were like, oh, it's out of stock, never mind, we can't buy it. And then the next night she was like, oh, Jill, it's back in stock. And we both went, oh, we could buy it. Oh, should we buy it? Should we buy it? And then it was a case of, well, I might buy it. Well, I might buy it too. And then, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to buy it. Okay, I'll buy it too. So so we both bought it. So I had no intention of getting a new Attic24 blanket this year at all. In fact, my intentions were very much the opposite. My intentions were to deliberately not get a blanket kit, to try and finish some of the blanket kits I got at home first. But what's done is done. I bought it, so I have to open it up and get cracking on it. So I'm going to do some work on that this next couple of weeks as well. But it's this lovely Starcraft Recreate yarn. I'll just show you. It's recycled yarn, and it's made from, where does it say? 40% wool, 30% acrylic, 30% polyester, all recycled. And it's just lovely, really lovely wool. And it just makes a change to be working on that rather than the usual Stylecraft Special DK. So yeah, I look forward to working on that. So that's my Flowerpress blanket. And that brings me to the end of everything. I don't even have any other business to talk to you about. I hopefully be back in a couple of weeks, which will be the 20th or so of October. I've not got any wool shows or anything planned in between. I do have one planned on the 9th of November in London, but I'll talk to you about that next time. And I think that's all I've got to talk to you about today. So it feels like quite a short one. I don't know if it is short, but once I edit it out, we'll see how long it is. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the burble and the waffle and the crap that I talk about. I hope you've enjoyed it somewhat. If you could subscribe, that would be brilliant. If you want to like as well, that would be really good. And also leave me a comment, because I love getting comments from you. It makes it all worthwhile. So yeah, drop me a comment below, and I'll try and answer you. And on that note, I shall bid you farewell and wish you a very happy couple of weeks crafting. I hope you get some lovely crochet time in, and some knitting time, or sewing, or whatever your lovely craft is that you do. And until then, I shall say goodbye and see you soon. Bye.